Far-left Mayor Brandon Johnson facing calls to resign. It comes after the city's public schools CEO was fired Friday after he refused to take out a $300 million loan for a new teachers union contract. That is the same union that once employed Mayor Johnson. One op-ed arguing it is time for Johnson to resign, saying this, quote, "You have demonstrated you are not a mayor for all of Chicago, but only for your friends at the Chicago Teachers Union. You are willing to use your power to benefit those closest to you while using the children you say you care about as political cover for your disastrous decision-making." Our next guest says this loan was all about Johnson's push to help illegal migrants, already costing his own taxpayers more than $500 million, that's with a B, billion dollars. Chicago resident Cata Truss joins us now with more. Cata, good morning. What a non-Christmas gift for this CEO, Pedro Martinez. What happened here?
Good morning. Basically, what happened is our mayor has decided that he wanted CEO Pedro Martinez to leave. They asked him to resign when he refused to secure the $300 million loan that the city wanted him to incur that would have put the city basically in a junk bond status and lowered the city's credit rating. And Pedro refused to adhere to that. Also, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about, prior to our new elected school board being appointed, all of the board members resigned because when the mayor asked them to fire Pedro Martinez initially, they refused, citing that there was no real reason to fire him and the fact that they agreed with him not taking out the loan. And so, we have our mayor who went to our state senator to maneuver the laws that took place that got our elected school board so that the Chicago Teachers Union could have control and of how those people were elected, and also giving the mayor more control, or CTU, because they're one and the same, when the appointments for the Chicago new elected board were appointed. And so as you see, initially, all of the members were supposed to be elected. And Mayor Johnson went to our state senator, I guess hand in hand, and asked him to do things a little differently and to change how the members were going to be appointed, as well as how they were elected. I think that we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that they asked these parents and regular community members to come up with 1,000 signatures in order to get on the ballot. Now, keep in mind that we have congressmen and state senators who don't have to have more than 300 signatures to get on the ballot. So to ask a parent to come up with that kind of signatures was already setting parents up to fail, putting him in a position to appoint the people that he wanted to appoint, which is why we have now our CEO of the Chicago Public Schools now being fired.
Hey, Cata, let's take a look and remind our viewers about Mayor Johnson's record, a $982 million budget deficit, and proposing this $300 million property tax hike, spent $527 million on new migrant arrivals into Chicago's ShotSpotter gunshot detection tech, despite a 33-14 alderman vote in favor of saving it. Cata, what is the future now? What comes next with Pedro Martinez, the CEO? Because it appears he was fired, quote, without cause, and now has some legal standing perhaps to challenge it.
Well, of course, I'm sure that he is going to challenge it. I'm sure that he is going to probably sue the city of Chicago, which means that the city is going to find itself in deeper financial debt. And it's just a travesty. Let me just say that as mayor, any mayor who comes in has a right to appoint the person that they want. That's not what happened here with Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez basically lost his job because he refused to do something that would have been bad for the city. Keep in mind that also within this teacher's contract is a $2,000 set aside per month for migrant students only. Now, keep in mind that this is only for migrant students. It's not for underprivileged students. It's not for students whose families are in financial straits. Migrant students only. There's also a set aside of $60 million. Now, this is within the teacher's contract, which has nothing to do really with teachers, for housing for students who are unhoused. And we know that is another way of putting money aside for migrant families.
Cata,
and so Pedro Martinez,
that's got to just be upsetting the Chicago residents. Cata, we've got to leave it there, but thank you for the insight of what's happening there. We'll continue to follow this story, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.